So we've been asked a lot, and what you see in the headlines is how the modern explosion has happened in our industry with cards. And the vintage doesn't seem to be getting the same kind of love that the modern headlines of cards going for $3 million, a Patrick Mahomes card, a Mike Trout card going for $4 million. You know, we are also seeing internally that this is happening in vintage as well.
It is.
Give me some examples of the vintage cards that are chugging along the same lines as the hot modern.
I mean, if you take a look at what we have that's upcoming in our Platinum Night auction, we talked about the 52 Mantle in a PSA 8. Back in 2018, these were cards that traded between $300,000 and $400,000. Now we're talking between 1.5 and 2 million. Same thing with the Jackie Robinson 48 Leaf. We were talking about cards that were selling for $40,000 in 8. Now they're over $300,000. So I think the vintage has definitely held its own in terms of running up the charts, just like the modern has.
And even at a lesser degree, an Aaron rookie in 8.
Yeah,
now, you know, they were $30,000 all day long. Now they're $60,000. Clemente's in 8s. They've had some ups and downs, but they are now around the $80,000 to $100,000 level, and they came down as far as 30. And then in the last couple of years, they've shot up. So it's not just the modern cards, even though they're getting the attention because modern was so dead. You know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, those Jordan autographed modern cards that we're selling for, I'm like, God, why didn't I buy every one of them? You know, it's crazy what those $5,000 cards are now $20,000, or $2,000 are now $8,000.
And I never would have saw that on the modern, not one bit. And now we're seeing it in modern, and we're now seeing the vintage side of it run itself up as well.
And I think the modern collectors are also looking back and saying, wait a minute, you know, this is blue chip stuff. This is potentially a .com boom in the modern, and who knows what's going to happen. And if a player like Mahomes is solid, obviously, his cards have been great, but then there's other guys that their cards have gone up and come right back down. And with vintage, with your Mickey Mantle, your Clemente, your Aaron, your Jackie Robinson, there's nothing to bring down their cards.
Nothing's coming down.